Entrainment is something you would see, for instance, in a group of fireflies that somehow all synchronize their lights in their bodies to flash at the same time together. We call this coherence. It's a coherence of the patterning of love, of caring, perhaps even of kindness. This is what we're asking. And it is a natural thing that occurs in nature. It is a natural thing that occurs with humans. There are cycles even in humans, in the biology, that when a group of humans get together, they'll synchronize without thought, seemingly without reason. You might say, well, why is this even here? Why is entrainment something that happens with humans, with animals, insects, birds, mammals? Why is it? And I will tell you, especially in humans, especially with humanity, the idea of togetherness, of doing something that is in coherence and together, is perhaps one of the most efficient, most beautiful attributes that you see with life. And when it comes to the shift that's going on right now on the planet, the idea is that there is entrainment, there is coherence with all humanity. Now that's the next section before we go across the bridge that I want to talk about. For it has to do with what we're going to experience next. Here's a question that many have asked, and it is about the shift. It's about humanity in general and the shift. I don't expect that all listening now will have heard every channel that we've ever given for the last 5 years. It would be nice, but we know better. So we repeat things, and we repeat them for clarity. But this one is important that you understand. Here is the question. In this shift that so many on this planet are going through right now, that humanity has been experiencing, the shift that the indigenous told you would arrive and is here, the question is this: is all humanity starting to awaken to a higher consciousness, or just the old souls? A further question is, how many old souls are there on the planet? With the exponential birth rate, meaning that 1 becomes 2, becomes 4, becomes 8, becomes 16. In that, how many old souls would you have in a group of 7 billion people? I'll answer both questions, even before we cross the bridge. The beauty of all of this is that all humanity is experiencing it. Did I talk about the magnetic grid? Of course I did. That was in the channel. The reposturing of the magnetic grid is something that actually enhances or allows for higher consciousness on the planet. It's needed, it's here, and that means that all humans are affected. There is a kinder attitude that is starting to appear where all humans say the things that matter to us, the frustrations we have with government, with business, the things that matter to us are all starting to be the same instead of regionalized. And the things that matter to us are children, the educations they will have, poverty. Will we be hungry? Will our relatives be hungry like we are? Will this pattern that is on this planet of war continue to repeat? Or can we stop it now? That is common to all humans, no matter what country they're in. They're concerned about that which is peacefulness, kindness, and the future for their kids. And you might say that's always been the case, Kryon. No, it hasn't. It's more been about who is right and wrong and who's going to die for their country and who's going to conquer whom. Take a look at history. It has to do with a more benevolent look at each other, a more caring for each other. The lives matter phrase, they do. All lives matter. All lives matter. And they always have. And yet that's not the case in the past. That's not been the attitude. They mattered, but that's not what you thought. That's not what you thought. Old consciousness is your grandfather's world. New consciousness is the one you're in. Answer to the first question, all humanity is affected. The second question, where is then the purpose of the old soul? How are they different? And the answer is this: they become the way showers. Now you start to understand. And how many old souls are on the planet as defined by those who have been through massive amounts of life, hundreds of lives, in order to arrive at this place where the mastery starts to kick in and you become that which is a way shower for those around you. Not a teacher, a way shower. There's a difference where they see how you act, how you behave, and they look at you and they say, I'd like to know more. That's a way shower. The person with the light, the flashlight, the torch, as they say in other countries, that's who you are. That's who watches this program. I want you to come across the bridge with me right now, and let's visit your soul. I have someone for you to meet. Take my hand. Come across the bridge yet again. That metaphoric bridge from a 3D world that you know so well to a multidimensional world that you don't know about. That's sometimes frightening to some, but it's the safest place you could be. It's you. Your soul. While you're on earth right now, let's visit your soul. Through that mist that obfuscates the other side, you move with me, with others perhaps, and you come to this area, this beautiful place which is your soul. And in that place you go through a door. We always go through a door, except when we don't. And you come to that which is not a theater, but a stadium. The stadium is filled only with the higher selves of the old souls on earth at the moment. How many would that be? I'll tell you this, it's not a stadium you'd ever find on the planet. It's an esoteric stadium that you can only sense and feel because it's massive, and yet everyone can hear perfectly every breath, every thought that is presented by anyone all at once. You say, how does that work? When you were a child, and I've said this again, when you heard that God could listen to 1 billion prayers at once and answer them all, how did that work? And the answer is, well. It works very well. And it's a multi-dimensional reality. It isn't that hard if you understood what a multi-dimensional reality is like. Everywhere and nowhere. Everywhere at once if you wish. Nowhere at once if you wish. You can have them all together if you wish. You can be in multiple places at the same time. Time is not relative. That's what multidimensionality is. And that, by the way, is your natural state. You're in this enormous place. Kryon, you didn't answer the question, how many old souls are on the planet? How many old souls? At the moment, slightly less than 0.5% of the Earth's population. That's a lot. That's many millions. Old souls, there's more of you than you think. And the attribute of the old soul during the shift is a natural awakening process. Whether that awakening is followed with an allowance to continue is free choice. But all old souls are presented with the awakening potential at some level. Not all the same level, but at some level to look beyond what they were told. And those that accept it, allow it, go on to be the way showers of this planet, the ones who might be tuned in to watch me here now, and the stadium before you is filled with them. They expected you tonight, or whenever you're watching this program, and they turn to you, millions of them, and they smile and they say, welcome home. It's the higher selves, dear ones, of all of them. They can be alive on this planet, and the higher self can sit here and talk to you. You are aware of that, are you not? And your higher self is also one that sits in the place where they all sit, and you start to discuss and celebrate why you're there. Why is this meeting here? Why are they together in a stadium? Why have they expected you? Because they wouldn't start the celebration without you. And you might say, well, what's the celebration? Have you missed everything we've been telling you about? Have you missed why you're here? Let's review that for a moment. You're here during the shift, dear one, as an old soul on purpose. You're here on purpose. You're not here to be a victim of the planet. You are here to enhance the planet's energy by discovering a peaceful life for yourself. A bigger truth for yourself, that you're not guided by that which is history. You're not guided by that which is mythology. You're guided by a truth of love that you have found and accepted for yourself that makes you different, act different, be different, want to share the kindness that you have with others. You become more caring, and you find out there's others like you. In this case, millions of them. Sit down for a moment. The celebration is about light on the planet. The celebration, after eons, after millennium, you might say, 200,000 years of your kind of human on this planet, after all of that time, light is here. Light is starting to show itself. Light will win the day. I want you to start celebrating. How many of you have ever been to an event with thousands of people sitting in a stadium cheering somebody on in that stadium? Having that, perhaps it's a sports event, or perhaps it's not. Perhaps it's an event where you're just hearing poetry or something, but you're enthralled, or you're cheering, and you're so elated. It's the hero story in this stadium, and you're the hero. That's the celebration. I want you to stay and celebrate. 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 The fact that light is winning, and these are your brothers and sisters. Some of them you know. Because life after life on this planet means that there was one time there were very few of you. You know a lot of these over hundreds of lives. They know you. Why don't you stay and get to know them in a multidimensional way? Remember, you can talk to every one of them all at once. They can talk to you all at once. They can smile at you. They can take your hand. They can celebrate. You're in the right place at the right time in your life. When you go back, and you're not sitting with your soul, dear ones, when you go back, the celebration continues. I am Kryon. Stay, stay. And so it is.